And welcome, Supermen and Super Ladies. We just got out of the movie Superman 2025 by a certain James Gunn.
That's right. And this is our spoiler-free review. And I'm excited because this is the first Superman movie I've ever seen. So I missed the other 2024 of them. So I know this is the 2025th.
Yes.
I'm starting late, but
you have a lot of them
excited
to catch up. You know,
yes.
they've been making them since the death of Christ. And
That's
so
right. One per year.
Yes, one for every single year since they started counting. Anyways, what did you think, the first impression of any Superman movie that you ever seen?
That's right.
That wasn't a short. What did you think? What was your first impressions?
Yeah, so my familiarity with Superman is honestly the Fleischer brother cartoons.
I think you mean Fleischer, right?
The Fleischer brothers cartoons. I'm sorry. I watched them on public domain VHS tapes all the time when I was a kid, and I loved them, and the 90s Superman cartoons.
Okay.
And so I've never seen any of the movies. When I was a kid, I used to watch The Simpsons all the time, and they have a lot of references to movies that I haven't seen. And as you grow up, you watch those movies, and you're like, oh, I've seen that on The Simpsons. This felt like that. This kind of felt like that. It was like, oh, Fortress of Solitude. I've heard of that. It was like, oh, crypto. It was like it was like discovering something that you've seen referenced your whole life. But,
yeah.
Oh, that's where it comes from. Oh, crypto. Yeah, I know him. It's like, oh, kryptonite. Yeah, I know what that's about. Yeah. Oh, Lex Luthor. He's bad. I know that. I remember that. I've heard about that.
And he's bald.
Yeah. Yeah,
all
exactly.
The basics.
There was a lot of cool things that were new to me as someone who hasn't seen a lot of superhero movies. It felt original to me. I don't know if I'm qualified to say whether or not it was original, but it felt original to me.
Yeah, it is interesting seeing your reaction to this based on, like, you're somebody who, like, really doesn't delve into the superhero co-universes, although there's universes everywhere, but just like
for sure
Marvel and DC, you kind of mostly stayed out of it. So it's interesting to hear your perspective there. Personally, I'm somebody who's seen pretty much every single superhero movie in the last decade and previous to that. So I think I am qualified to say this is definitely a different take than we have gotten in the past.
Okay.
This is a spoiler-free review, so I'm not going to get into a lot of the details. We'll do all that in our spoiler-filled discussion soon. And but I will say that Superman 2025, I have certain issues with it, and I have a lot of like positive notes, but I think really when you look at it at face value, I think this is an example of what comic book movies should be. They should feel like they're a completely lived in world. They should have the cameos from other heroes. They shouldn't be ashamed of their comic book origins. They should lean into the quirkiness. They should lean into the science fiction, all of that.
Yes.
I think that's one thing that James Gunn does really well here.
Yes, I agree with that.
And I'm very excited to see what he has in store for the rest of the universe. I don't know how much you know about the behind the scenes stuff, but James Gunn is in charge of the whole DC universe now, and that includes TV shows, that includes the movies, the video games. I think they're even going to do comic book tie-ins as well. So it's basically he's trying to create something that has continuity across all the media that DC Studios, which is a new entity that he formed, puts out.
I like James Gunn. I liked Super. I saw that movie and I liked it a lot. I feel like this is probably James Gunn being a little restrained. Like, it's not super violent. Like, is something I associate with him.
Well, he's been in the superhero space for the last decade. He wrote and directed all three of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, which in my opinion
that makes sense to me.
Yeah. Have you seen any of those ones?
I saw the first one.
Okay.
This is tonally. So I like the tone of this. My big complaint about it is it's tonally inconsistent. It'll be
I would agree
funny
with
and
that.
silly and goofy and crazy sci-fi stuff, and then it'll be like way heavy, dire, and it doesn't. I didn't dig it. That's my big complaint about the movie. But overall, I'd say it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's hard to say tonally inconsistent or like tonally jarring at certain points. I feel like that's kind of a James Gunn thing. And then when we get into our spoiler-filled discussion, I have a whole list of James Gunn isms that are here in this movie that you see in other James Gunn movies. So we'll get into that kind of fun stuff.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. As far as, do I think this is like the best Superman movie ever that we've gotten? That's tough to say. It's very tough to say.
Let me frame it to you this way. So what if somebody is a big fan of the Christopher Reeves Superman movies? Will they like this one?
There's a lot of crossover here and nods to those movies.
Okay.
There's a lot of specifics. This isn't really a spoiler. You have titles that are inspired by the Richard Donner movies. Those are the 70s movies. You have hints to the John Williams score, which I think is super important.
I loved that. That score is super. Every time it would play, every time you got the hints of it, like you could feel it. Like that goes a long way, and it shows you how powerful good score can be. And I think it elevated the whole movie.
Yeah, and it's being played like on an electric guitar, so it's not exactly the same. It's giving it its own kind of personality.
It's slightly punk rock, which is a thing in this.
Hey, don't give any spoilers now.
Okay, I won't. Okay, last question.
Yeah.
If somebody is a big fan of the Fleischer brother cartoons, do you think they'll like this?
I don't see why not.
I think definitely.
What are your
because
opinions?
I'm a fan of the Fleischer brother cartoons, and there was a lot of stuff I was excited to see in this.
Yeah. I think this movie is, for the first time, a Superman movie that is being kind of unrestrained and allowed to do whatever it wants. And I think that's a huge benefit. In some parts, it's a downside, but like I think we need more of this type of filmmaking, because it's not the typical it's beat 'em up movie. You know, it's not trying to be a Marvel movie, you know, because they have their own typical formula now. And it's not, I can't even say, oh yeah, is it better than a Marvel movie, because it's completely different. It's even different from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. It's even different from James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. And it's also different from Creature Commandos, which was the first entry into the DC universe, the new one that James Gunn started. So, which he also wrote and directed. So it's interesting to see James Gunn starting to build this universe. I'm excited to see more of it. I think definitely go see it. I've got a lot of interest in seeing how this plays out at the box office for sure.
Yeah, go see it. Definitely, if you're a Superman fan, go see it. If you're like me and you're specifically a Fleischer Brothers Superman fan, I think you should go see it. I think there'll be a lot of stuff that you'll like in it.
Yeah, and I brought my 5-year-old son. He very much enjoyed it.
Oh, great.
He didn't completely rave about it, but I think he really enjoyed it. He was invested the whole time, so that's a good sign.
Excellent. So we're going to have a long review soon where we go into all our details and examine our opinions to death. And
Yes.
I'm excited about it. I do have a lot of nitpicks for this movie. Although I enjoyed it overall, I have nitpicks I'm excited to pick at.
Good. I'm excited to talk about them. In the meantime, you can go watch one of our Superman episodes that we
That's right.
that we show one of the Fleischer brothers cartoons. So check that out.
You can watch the first time Superman was ever on film on our channel. So,
and like and subscribe if you want to hear more about cartoons and cartoon adaptations, and in this case, comic book adaptations, because they're all kind of related in some ways,
For sure.
DadToons, grab a snack and you can sit down. Watch some daddies talking about animation now. Tell you what they like and what they also didn't too. DadToons about to hit you with a great review. Hey!